Last year, this is the second annual for me, Mayor's Ball, and last year when we started out, we looked at different things that we thought were important in the community. And one of the things that really popped out of me as I go around the community and speak to individuals, both when I was campaigning and then later when I was mayor, is folks are always talking, of course, about education and how important it is that we have a great educational system here in our community. And so even though the mayor doesn't have a direct involvement with the community school system or with the public school system or with the private school system, we all, of course, support all of their efforts on behalf of our students. And I thought, what is it that we can do to help show our support, not just from the standpoint of being supportive, but also financially? And so last year when we developed the Mayor's Ball, we decided to give all the proceeds that we might raise to charity, that being the charity being the needs of the students and to help the teachers that are working hard day in and day out on behalf of our students. And so last year we were very fortunate because of all of you to be able to raise funds that allowed us to give back nearly $24,000 to the teachers who used it for the students.
Yeah.
What you're seeing on the television screen in front of me and in the back room and then in the other room, and I would invite you all to take an opportunity to look at those and take a few moments of your time tonight as you mill around after dinner. If you haven't already, these are little snippets that the Anderson TV folks, who've done a great job for us on this, went around and interviewed the different folks in the school system that had received grants last year. And they tell a little bit about each one of those, each one of their programs. We were able to give grants because of the money that we raised last year. We were able to give grants to 18 different teachers in 10 different schools. Every school that applied received something, and we nearly covered all the teachers. And part of that was because of the fact that we were able to raise so much money. So we're hoping this year we can do the same and be able to help the teachers that had some really great, innovative ideas for their students, things that really help build character, that helps build the kids' confidence, it helps make them better students, but it's not things traditionally that you necessarily would expect the schools to fund or the state to fund. So we're trying to help sort of think outside the box, and we let teachers do that on our behalf, but again, we help that effort by funding it through a program like this. And so I think you'll see, and tonight the ballot that Samantha spoke about gives sort of the bullet points of each one of those programs. And again, the little snippets here tell a little bit more, but they were all really neat ideas, and it really showed that the teachers were really thinking about ideas and how they could reach the kids. And we appreciated everything they've done, and it was really fun to be able to help fund that. I would also want to let you know that the way we did that last year was after we asked everyone in the schools to present their grant applications. And I would invite all of you that are here tonight that might think about doing that next year, that it's a relatively simple process. It's not really a difficult grant process. It's really more you're telling us what you think you would be able to do with the money that would make some sense. And then what we've done, and I owe a lot to Terry Austin, State Representative Terry Austin, who helped put together the criteria that we could use to score the grants. And then we also did that in the blind, and she reached out to folks at Ball State, to Anderson University, and also the Community Foundation to be able to score those in the blind. And the results really came out and showed that those folks did a great job. And again, the teachers that put forth their applications did a great job in thinking through their ideas before they presented them to us. So it was really neat to watch the kids, and even though those are large numbers, 18 teachers, 10 schools, the reality is, I was talking to Randy Harrison a while ago, like he pointed out, it really affected hundreds and hundreds of kids, well over 1,000 kids, and some of these projects that were picked are projects that will go on for years. They just don't stop, 1 year, one project. So, and again, it was a great deal, and we appreciated being involved. I'm not really in a position to sit here and thank each and every sponsor that contributed here, but the names are in the booklets. But I do want to obviously point out the Community Hospital, who last year was our host sponsor, and they're our host sponsor again this year. And I know Beth Tharp, Community Hospital, is going to speak up here later when we have a little bit more of a presentation. And I just want to thank them again for all of their efforts and help on our behalf and behalf of the community at large. I'd like to thank the Anderson Federation of Teachers, who's also a primary sponsor tonight, and thank them for all of their efforts that they've done as well. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking here. I know you're here to have a little bit of fun and also to have dinner. But I just wanted to, again, remind you why we're here. I want to reemphasize what Sammy said a minute ago about, of course, it is a fundraiser. We do have some great auction items out there that folks contributed, and we appreciate what they did to contribute, and hopefully you will recognize the value of some of those items and put forth decent bids so we can make a little extra money. Also, we do have, as Sammy pointed out, we have a live auction here in a little bit. We held the live auction down to just a handful of items. That way it'll go kind of quick, but at the same time, we hopefully have picked some good items. And I can speak directly about the condo in Florida that Sammy mentioned. I actually purchased that at a Paramount fundraiser a year ago, and I can tell you it's definitely worth bidding on. It's a great condominium that Robin Wood put forth on our behalf, and it's a 3-bedroom condo down in Sarasota. It's beautiful, it's well appointed. It has a vehicle that comes with it that's really neat, and so you definitely, if you want to get down to Florida and take a break, it's a great opportunity to do that. So again, let me thank all of you for being here tonight. I want to thank all of the folks that worked so hard, and I'm not going to name everybody. You know who you are, I know who you are. The folks that did all of the great decorations. I want to note Marie Sims. I will point out Marie worked really hard in bringing things together. Did a lot of the decorations, but we had a huge, great team that did a lot, and I appreciate very much all of your efforts. So thank you again very much. Thank you to Anderson Country Club for allowing us to have this here tonight. We appreciate it. It's a great venue, and I look forward to talking to some of you later on and talking here a little bit. So again, thank you so very much. Samantha. I want to again acknowledge and thank all of the folks here that are educators, either teachers, administrators, folks involved in our school system that helps all of our students. The kids, obviously, we always hear about children being our future, but let's face it, they are. We all know how quickly time passes, and one day we're high school students, next day we're in college, and we're raising families and so forth, and our children and grandchildren are the same way. Everything just sort of moves forward. And so these kids that the educators work with today that are 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 years old are going to be the doctors and the lawyers and the accountants and the folks that we deal with day in, day out tomorrow. And so it's very important, all the work that all of you do on behalf of children to help make our community the type of community that it is. And again, I want to thank all of you, but I'd also like at this time to ask all of you that are here tonight that are involved in the educational system, either as teachers or folks employed by the school systems, or administrators or school board members, to please stand to be recognized, and then I'd like everyone to give them the well-deserved applause and recognition that they all deserve. Thank you again very much. And I'd also like to, and again, there's lots of folks here, and I don't want to single too many people out, but I would like to ask our superintendent of the Anderson School System, our interim superintendent, Tim Smith, to step up for a moment, and also Randy Harrison, our president of the Anderson Federation of Teachers, and also Pat Hill, the president of the Anderson School Board. And I know Pat was in here a minute ago, and he'll probably be here. Here he is. Come on up for just a minute or two to be not just be recognized, but again, obviously tonight again is about education and our efforts to not only raise awareness for the importance of education in our community, but also, of course, to raise a little bit of funding to help in this grant process. But that's really a small part in comparison to what these guys do and the folks that they represent do to help move our community forward day in and day out. So I'm just going to pass the mic down and have you guys reintroduce yourselves and start with the superintendent, but also ask you to say a couple, and I apologize because I didn't tell any of you that we were going to do this. And hopefully, like me, you had a drink, so you'll be all right. But anyway, really seriously, I do want you to say a word or two about what's going on in the school system now. You guys are all working together to better the school, and we all appreciate that. But anything that you feel like is important and relevant to say, feel free to do that. Tim?
Thank you, Mayor. I've got to run out real quick because Randy's been giving my bid number to everybody, so I got to see how much stuff I bought out here in just a minute. But I do want to thank everybody for being here tonight. This is an outstanding event, a wonderful facility, and here for the right reasons, here to support Anderson Community Schools, the schools of our community. And right now we've got the catchphrase everybody says is, we're in this for the kids. We are in this for the kids. All of us here, all the educators that stood up, we're here for the kids. But we can never forget about the great adults that we have working with our kids in every capacity, from food service to custodial to nurses. Everything that happens in our school corporation happens for a reason, because we have people who love working for kids and with kids, and everybody deserves a round of applause for that, because we are in this together. And I would just conclude by saying we are off to an outstanding start to the school year. We've been in 2.5 weeks, and I've been in every building multiple times, and I've heard nothing but great things from our staff and our kids that I talk to, and the administrators and the secretaries, and everybody says this has been a great start to the year. So we're going to keep that rolling, keep us moving forward, and look forward to a great rest of the year.
Thank you. It's a good thing I'm a little bit shy, so I won't be very long up here. But I hope you all had a chance to watch the videos and listen to our great educators, and I can't wait to hear our two folks speak tonight, because this event is about making the teachers the star of the show, and they are stars for our children and our community. And I just want to say I'm honored as president of our organization of professionals, whether the support staff or the educators, to stand with 3 other men that want to move our school district forward. And I'm honored to be part of that. And as long as all 4 parties know that, we're going to have the best educational product in the county. So I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
Of course, I got to go last. Greetings on behalf of the board. Mr. Baracco, our newest member, is here with us tonight as well. And it's great, and I appreciate each and every one of you coming out to do this tonight. And the mayor and I were just having a conversation at the table about, talking among the community about the great things that are going on. The expansion of dual credits, the expansion of D26 in our vocational training, our graduation rates, the good numbers we were just talking about earlier, rolling in our lower levels, we're growing. And they're getting an exceptional education thanks to the great teachers and staff and people that just go to work every day and do a great job to make the kids of this community the best that they can be. So thank you all again. Appreciate you letting us have this. Mayor, thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much. And we're very fortunate in Anderson. Not only do we have a great school system led by these individuals, but we also have really great post-secondary schools here. I don't know of a community the size that we are that has as many opportunities for folks as we have, and those opportunities continue to expand after folks get out of school, and by that I mean high school. Obviously, for many, many years, we've had Anderson University. That's been a main part of our community that we're so very proud of, and I know Dr. Pistol, or Mr. Pistol couldn't be here tonight. Stephanie Moran is here on John's behalf, and we appreciate Anderson University's efforts and also being a sponsor here. They do a great job. In fact, they're going to give a couple of scholarships on behalf for this event tonight to some kids with regards to Anderson University, and we appreciate that very much. Dr. Jim Willie of Ivy Tech, who's up here. Dr. Willie, last year, as you know, many of you were in the event last year, we had this occasion at the new Ivy Tech facility, and we were proud to do that, to be able to showcase their facility. And again, a lot of great opportunities for our students to be able to advance through the efforts of Ivy Tech Community College and that particular campus that does such a great job. And then Harrison College, which is here, and we also have members here from Harrison College. And I know last year I had the chance to speak at their commencement, and I felt like it was probably one of the most important speeches that I'd ever given, and I was so impressed by the young folks that were going through that school and so much that they had to offer to our community as they come out, and what a great job that they do, again, on behalf of not just their school, but also on behalf of the community and the city of Anderson. And then, of course, we have Purdue University, and then more recently, and I know Corey Sharp's here this evening, and again, another sponsor of this event. And Purdue University, particularly Purdue Polytechnic, which the newest facility, we're going to be doing a dedication next week there as they open up that new facility out on Scatterfield Road. And again, some really great opportunities at different levels, everything from manufacturing to co-making space to the educational opportunities that Purdue has to offer. And let's face it, when you're talking about Anderson University, Purdue University, Harrison College, Ivy Tech, I mean, how can you have greater opportunities in a community than that? So let's give all these folks a hand for everything they do. I'd also, again, like to acknowledge and thank Community Hospital. In a moment, I'm going to have Beth come up and speak, but appreciate everything they do. They've been great leaders in our community for many years. I'd also like to acknowledge and thank St. Vincent's that's here this evening, and Mike Schroyer and his team for everything they do in the community. And again, they're also sponsors. You know, we're so fortunate in Anderson not only to have two great hospitals, but also have two great hospitals that are community leaders that give so much to the city. They give back not just through charities, but through so many different events. I mean, anytime you hear of anything going on, you can almost always guarantee that the community in St. Vincent will be there, and we appreciate all their efforts as well. And also thank our Anderson Police Department tonight, who were the valet gentlemen. And so if you had your car valeted by them, you probably have at least a 50-50 chance that you'll get your car back. So that's good, and we appreciate everything that they did. At this time, I would like to, where's Sammy? I want to make sure I don't get I already went off script too much. Who would you like me to introduce first? Okay. What I'd like to do now is introduce, as I said a moment ago, an individual who has her story is well told here in Anderson, in our community. Everything starting from the days of a young girl and the candy striping days, and working her way up to being the Chief Executive Officer of Community Hospital. Her compassion and caring and concern for patients is well known. Again, her community service on behalf of the city and on behalf of her hospital is well known, and as she told me one time, she really has a hard time separating her life from the community hospital. It is her life, and she does a great job. And so I'm very proud to introduce to you Beth Tharp. Beth, you want to come on up?
Thank you, Mayor. Don't go away. I'm not gonna take too long. I just want to take an opportunity to thank you, Mayor Broderick, and your administration and your staff for the support of the schools. I mean, there couldn't be anything any greater or better than to pour everything that we have into our children. you said a little bit about my story. One unknown fact for most of you other than Chet Green is we just celebrated our 40th high school reunion a couple of weeks ago. I don't know how that happened, Chet. No idea how that happened, but we are Indians, true and true. Went to Edgewood Elementary School and went to Northside Junior High back in the day, and then graduated from Anderson High School. So there couldn't be anything more important to me than the Anderson Community Schools. And so the opportunity for us to help sponsor this event is just awesome. The other thing, you know, the stories, I haven't had a chance to watch all of them, but one thing that we were really blessed this last year to do was to help also support the calculus team that went and competed in Clemson, which was a national competition. They came in third. I don't think you can get any more awesome than that, and what how proud of a community we should be for their efforts. And when we went and presented a check, I was so impressed by those students. They were so articulate and smart and opened, and it was just, it just did your heart good. So thank you everybody for being here. Again, thanks to all of our educators that are here, and we couldn't be more proud to help you with this event.
I can tell you as the mayor that the city of Anderson is moving forward. It moves forward every day. We have a great staff in the city that works hard day in, day out to move the city forward. We have great economic opportunities going on here. We have lots of new jobs coming. We work closely with our schools and our new businesses to match them together to make sure that folks have real opportunities of good paying jobs when they get here. Anderson is really is on the move, and we're doing a great job. And it's again because of all of you and the rest of our community. Today, just to give an example, today I had the occasion to go out to the event where a young man who has a lot of special needs, there was sort of an impromptu parade. His mother on Monday posted on Facebook that her 21-year-old son who has these special needs enjoyed parades. And the next thing you know, people from all over the community, not just Anderson, but all of the surrounding area of Madison County came together, and about 300 units came out. Our local police, our local fire, our local sheriff's department, all sorts of folks from every walk of life came out to help this young man celebrate a birthday that he could have never probably ever imagined. It shows the heart, it shows the compassion, it shows the type of people that we have here, and that's why we are all so lucky to be part of this community, and I'm so very proud to be your mayor to help lead that effort. When you see that, it's really hard to imagine just how much and how big of hearts that all these folks have. And I know that each of you who care so much about students, or you wouldn't be here tonight, feel the same way. So I'm so very proud to be here on behalf of all that. And I want to turn this over to Samantha now for she can introduce two of the teachers that represent some of those great efforts. Samantha?
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to introduce our first teacher. But before that, I'd like to tell you a little bit about these grants. Last year, we raised over $23,500. We, of course, presented the check at the event for $15,000 because we didn't know that we were going to have that much. And we did so many things with those grants. There were 18 grants given. One teacher built a 100-pound robot with his students. Like Beth said, someone took their students to Clemson University. I mean, we have some really great teachers, and I didn't want to spoil the two teachers that we have, so I didn't say their grant. But they're going to come up and tell you a little bit about what their grant meant and, you know, exactly what you're contributing to tonight. So with that, I'd like to present Ms. Larissa Scott.
Imagine that you walk into a third grade classroom and you know that it's the first time you're ever going to have to take the iRead and the iStep. Your comprehension and your fluency, your phonetic skills are so low that you don't even know how to spell your last name, and they expect you to take these tests. Your teacher comes in and she tells you that she received a grant from the mayor and she's going to be purchasing a program. This program will allow you to read on your own level at your own pace, not with a small group who's similar to you, at your pace, tailored for you. That she can make this program work for you. Sorry, I get a little emotional about it. At the end of the year testing, when you get your results back, you jumped 2 grade levels. You're now reading at a 1st grade level when you came in at a preschool level. And when you take your NWEA at the end of the year, you've gone up 43 points when the rest of your class, most of them went up 8 points. Your mom calls and she's so excited because you can read your video games instead of just playing them. You can help her cook because you can read the recipes now. You know how to spell your name, all because your teacher received money from everyone like you. And so from the bottom of my heart, from all of the students that were touched, not just the one particular boy, all of the students in my classroom and the students in Anderson that have been touched by your graciousness, I genuinely thank you. And just know that your time, your efforts, your money, it is being very well spent in giving back to the children of Anderson. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Larissa. Now I'd like to introduce another grant recipient. This is a very important educator and she is so great. Please help me welcome Pamela Jackson.
My producers, kill me with laughter. My speech won't be long. I just found it in my purse, really. I was really nervous. And Samantha, I called her out, I said, I don't know what to say. And everybody at my table was so encouraging. Eric, you want to come on up? I told you I'd do it, didn't I? But they were so encouraging. You got this. You can do this. And then I started thinking, I need worship at church. Every Sunday, I'm not afraid. So can you say amen? Amen. Can you say it a little louder? Amen. Amen. My grant was called the Guided Reading in Action, Bridging the Gap. The gap between poverty, illiteracy, poverty, crime, all goes hand in hand. And studies show that if a child is not reading by 3rd grade, chances are they're not going to finish high school. They will revert to crime, being unemployed, depression. I teach 1st grade, so it has to start really, really, really early. And one of the stories that hit me hard, and I am not going to cry, I promise. I got a new student middle of the year before I got my grant, right after I got it. And I bought some wobble chairs. I know you've heard about them. And I had never been faced with a child like that in my life. She fought me. She hit me. She hit the dean. She didn't care. She couldn't help it. She was so disturbed. And all I wanted to do was get her out of my room. Please, Lord, get her out. But I looked at this little girl and I said, I can't give up on her. I can't. And I didn't. I had to find a way to make her feel successful. Even if it's just sitting in that chair for half a day, because she had to go to half days. She's under the chair, she's over the chair, she's on the chair. She's throwing the chairs, seriously. And I got these great wobble chairs. I said, here, sweetheart, try this. And for a whole half day, she was able to sit and do work. It was kindergarten type work, but it was work. And she was proud. She went to another school this year, and I was hoping she would come back. Believe it or not, that same little girl that I said, God, get her out of my room. And he left her there, and it's because I had a job to do. That job was her and my other 27 kids. I owed them everything, and I gave them everything. And with this grant, I was able to find something that connected her to success. And when I found out she wasn't coming back, because I wanted her back. I wanted her back with me. I retained her, and I was like, I gotta have her, because I put a lot into her, and I want to see what she can do. And I found out she couldn't come back. My heart ripped, because I know I made a difference. I saw her this summer, and she ran up to me with fat cheeks, and she grabbed me right there. And she squeezed me tight. She said, I love you. I love my job. I love my students. I love my career. I love my ministry. Whew. I love my community. And I don't know very many of you by name, but I love you. I love your faces. I love what you do and what you represent, because you are the reason we were able to get those grants. By your donations, the auction, the event that you're doing tonight, someone else will be able to benefit and get a grant that may be just a wobble chair, but it's a good wobble chair. It is meant for a purpose. So, with further ado, I'm going to take a collection now. And I will have a benediction in the name of the Lord. But thank you for listening to me, and thank you for your support of Anderson's youth.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Pamela. I don't think anyone could ever duplicate that effort. Thank you so very much. That's really what this was about. If you wondered about what the theme was all about, it's obviously when folks win the Oscars in Hollywood, they proclaim that these are the stars, the folks that have sort of refined their craft to make them, sort of better than anyone else at the moment. And there's no question at all that Pamela, you definitely, and the rest of you, and all the others certainly deserve this award. And we again thank you for everything that you've done. So I'm going to pass this over to Samantha, who's going to talk a little bit and introduce with regards to the live auction. And with the words that Pamela said, again, just remind everybody that, again, this is a fundraiser, and so, again, we have some good objects that hopefully you'll see fit to bid on and help raise some additional monies so we can meet our goals for next year. I also want to let everyone know that the silent auction, which concluded a while ago, that anyone, if you want to see how that fared, they have circled the winning bids out there in red, and all you need to go is check that out. And then go ahead and make arrangements to pick up those items and pay. And I should note, I don't remember if Sam said it earlier, but we are accepting credit cards this evening. We have the ability to do that. So anything that you bid, and if you wish to use a credit card, you're able to do that. Thank you again.
Thank you to our grant recipients. Those were amazing speeches, and I just hope everyone realizes, just like me, how amazing of an event this is and how much we really, put into this because of the difference that it has on the community. Before we get to the live auction, I would like to first invite Anderson University up here. Okay, come on up.
It's my honor to say thank you to the mayor and your team for this beautifully presented and meaningful event. Again, President Pistol is sad that he couldn't be here tonight, but we have the privilege again to present 2 graduating seniors with $1,000 scholarships to Anderson University. Because of the timing of the event and the scholarship application, we can't announce those this evening, but I would like to just tell you a little bit about the impact that the last scholarships have made in the lives of 2 Anderson University students. If you'll remember, that first recipient was a Latino male, and he went on to thrive at Anderson University as a business major. I am fully confident that this young man will give back to the community, and he will raise the social and economic value of our community by his investment in the community. The second person that was given the award is actually an emancipated student. She's a beautiful young woman. She's faced more academic challenges and barriers to success than you and I would face in a lifetime. But she has grit, and she's persisting and thriving. Her dreams and hopes are to become a teacher right here in Anderson Community Schools. And with the support of faculty and staff and community members, and it takes a community, she's thriving and she's well on her way. I would like to say your presence and participation this evening is indication that I am not the only one that believes and is convicted that it takes a community for young children and youth to discover their strengths, their passions, and their fullest potential. And so we're all stakeholders in their student success, and we all have an opportunity to join them on their journey. And with that, I would just like to again say thank you for letting Anderson University help you chase those dreams and helping students to reach their fullest potential. Thank you, Mayor.
I'ma hold it up. You pull the something, but it ain't enough. What we got so overdue? Go find somebody new. Bite on it, baby, na 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 na. But I'm standing on your collar, so you bye 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 bye. Hey, I know you lie, girl, it's a movie. Baby, I think I'm dumb. I might be young, but I ain't stupid. Turn you around to go with your tongue. Give you babe, you say the sweet talk, saying how I'm your number one. I know you lie, girl, it's a movie. Baby, don't you know I'm done? You're in summer, you're in summer, you're in summer, but you lie, lie, lie.